Teen Sports listeners, I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes. Welcome, everybody. We're wheels up. We're ready to roll. We're out of here. I'm so excited. We're flying high. I love Santa Barbara. Probably one of the top 5 places on the planet to be this time of year, especially coming out of this horror. I don't know how in 10 years we're going to look back at this time, but it's definitely been, for my human experience, a growth. I would say I really grew during this time personally. I think we all have personalized that you have no choice, right? At the end of the day, it's all about growing and learning, as they say. In the house, we've missed him for the last couple of weeks. He's been a busy boy. Anthony Rodriguez, we're going to get to you in the first section of the show because we know how busy you are. But let's go around the room and let's do a little gratitude. Let's start off with Dominique Hackett, because I didn't get to talk to you last week. You didn't even talk last week. You were so busy.
Well, we got a beautiful note from one of the Braille students because Erica did some cooking and hosted a Braille student with a seeing eye dog to come and visit at our home. And Erica did a whole lot of work to make sure that there was nothing in her pathway so that she felt safe. So we got a beautiful thank you note from Sherry Owen. And she said, thank you for making the effort and making me feel safe. It meant so much to me. And even the food that you prepared, you thought about it. We were really thoughtful of serving food to a visually impaired person. So thank you so much.
That's a nice, didn't you know what that was?
Erica, you can come to the Braille. You can come to the Braille.
Just reading this card, who knows about me? I was just like, you had a lot to do with it. And Sherry, we love you so much. And she's also definitely part of this show. She's a motivational speaker for the Lady Gaucho basketball team.
Shouts out to Sherry this morning.
Just what a wonderful human being. Angela knows her as well. She's definitely a mindful person, so I like that about her. But it was nice when she first came over, and first time I saw her ever, because I'm a hugger person, and I know we have COVID and stuff, and she had her mask on and everything. I was so excited to meet her after all these months of talking to her on the phone, and I just said, look, I'm coming in for the big hug. she just opened up her arms, and I said, "Here I come." So
she's so great. She's now volunteering at Braille. She's going to start helping teach ceramics classes. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, she's what a bright light. I mean, I tell you, really a mentor. I mean, in so many different ways.
She is.
You can think you have a bad day and you hang out with her. After 5 minutes, I'm just like, God, why am I complaining about anything? Oh my God. I mean, that's what I really love about, thinking back and it's not even about having any empathy for her or anything like this. I'm just in awe of her. I'm just truly in awe of her, her strength.
Yeah, she is a very...
Hang out with Sherry.
She's a dynamic human being, and she knows a lot about sports.
Yeah,
and she is very involved out at UCSB, and she has great energy, and her story is amazing.
Yeah, it's power lifter, veteran. I mean, she's done it all.
I'm picking her up from some kind of Tai Chi class to have lunch with her tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm like, I don't even do that kind of
stuff. Nice. Super. All right, let's go around the room. Christine Marie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I'm feeling so grateful for this VNA social worker, palliative social worker. Her name is Juliana Fabio, and she has just supported me and my mother in this journey all the way through, and we're still in it. And my mom's even in Santa Paula now, but she's still helping. And the social worker at Santa Paula, where she is, has Christina. Everyone's just being so helpful, helping my mom find and navigate her way through this powerful journey, towards the end of her life. Or, maybe she'll just keep going. Who knows? She's treating. So I'm just so grateful to all those people who just love people so much and want to help them. And that I get to be one of those people that gets to be helped is such a blessing. Yeah.
We have a lot of teen athletes that I know, 4 or 5 personally know, that I've coached that are having Oh, sorry, we're fine. No worries. I think that was our disaster kit that fell on the ground. No, seriously. But I think learning about having the experience in transitioning. I was older. I wasn't a teen or a teen athlete at the time, but I do, again, like I said, have at least 4 kids that I have coached that are going through really tough times with grandparents and parents that are ill. And it's something that I think the best thing that they can do, or we can encourage them to do, is to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important for our kids, instead of feeling that loneliness, and to hold all those feelings in. And we're very blessed to have Navita. We'll get her take on this as a licensed therapist. But it's really important for kids and parents and more mentors of those kids to really help them with the pathway to talk about everything. So yeah, most definitely, Namita.
Oh, I just wanted to say real quick, that I picked a little card for Namita, but I think it was the card for talking about this right now, which was the 3 of Swords, which is about heartbreak and acknowledging the heartbreak and really, dealing with our feelings and acknowledging them and accepting them and feeling them. So it's beautiful. Anyways, thank you, Namita.
Thank you.
Namita. It's got the whole therapeutic and food combo. We're going to talk a lot about food today, which is good.
Well, thank you for allowing me to drop in into gratitude, because dropping in is what I'm grateful for. These are the hidden blessings of this episode of the COVID and seclusion and so forth. Now that we're all coming out to the world slowly, especially with things lifting in restrictions, I notice that when I connect with people, there's a different essence. I'm able to really drop in and be with the person instead of in that mental rush that I was used to. So I am so grateful for that. It gives me a sense of groundedness, and it allows for deeper connection that's meaningful without having to use as many words as in the past, if it all makes any sense. There's just a gratitude for real connections versus fleeting ones. Yes.
Nice. Don Sanders.
Yeah, I want to share gratitude for joy. Joy pops out right on the other side of grief many times, and we've reflected a little on the grief of our pandemic. And when that joy pops out, then it encourages courage. And when somebody makes a resolve to take some action, then that will usually spark somebody else. And so we're social animals that keeps going. So courage calls forth more courage from others, and more people stand up and resolve to take action. And then we're back on our feet and we're moving forward again.
Yay! Good one. Don Sanders, my personal masseuse. He travels, and Don, you've just helped me out immensely it's probably going on 5 years, but this last 12 months for Dominique and myself, you've been such a blessing. Why don't you give your information out again?
Don's Massage in Ojai.com and 805-236-2684. I'm traveling between, Ojai to Ventura to Santa Barbara. Negotiate to go farther, but that's the main thing, that triangle. Our region. Thank you so much, Teen Sports Radio.
So nice. Angela Miller Bevan, my friend for many years. Now the director over at the Braille. She's shaking things up because you don't know how to do anything else but shake the tree, as they say.
And today I feel very grateful for believing in the road and the path of where I'm going with Braille. Have been so blessed with the news that our budget was approved last night by our board. So all the great things that I want to do moving forward are going to happen. So
a lot of kids, which is great.
So we're going to be hiring a brand new youth instructor, and we will have a youth program that will take the second level of the Braille Institute by storm. So
Nice.
very exciting. We're working with the Santa Barbara School District. So we're working with all the 6,000 children that are in our county that have been IEP tested, and we'll be able to have free services. Wow. They'll be able to learn Braille. For the kids with low vision, they'll just be learning about how to get through life with low vision. So it's an exciting time for us at Braille. It's coming out of this pandemic taught us all, and I think Namita kind of said was, we're coming out of this pandemic, and I think it makes me so much more grateful because I've seen how bad things can be, and it makes me appreciate all the good things, like going for a walk this morning and stopping to smell a rose, which I never did before. And it's so important for all of us to take that moment to look outside, be grateful, be grateful that we can help people, that we have people like Christine was saying about people that can help us. We are just so blessed in this community and so blessed to have such great opportunities. So thank you for letting me be a part of Team Sport, because I'm grateful for you.
Oh, we're buds from many lives, Angela. Not to get all woo woo, but I needed to one really quick thing. If as a I don't knock on wood, if I'm blessed to be a grandparent and I've never been diagnosed, but I already know. Since I always have to, somebody say, look at that bird, I'll be the first to turn and look.
That's called the squirrel syndrome.
Yeah, I think I have a little ADHD syndrome, but I tell you one thing, and for those who've never done it, if you've never held a Braille book, and then after learning just a couple of I listen to Dominique and she teaches every single day, sighted Braille, I just think whether you're visually impaired or not, I think it's a learning tool. And people that could get certified in the different levels of Braille, it's a great career and it's a great occupation. And I believe myself personally, since they're trying to take script away, but I think if you're learning the alphabet and you're taking Braille for those kids that can't sit still, because it really is a tool to focus. So I was just wondering down the road later on, and I know you have to be visually impaired to learn Braille, but what if if a kid a grandparent feels or a parent feels, hey, maybe I could use this as a tool to help my kid with ADHD. Would you be open for that?
Oh, I would definitely try to make that work. And you are right. With, I have a child that was IEP tested that had learning disabilities. And it's finding what works for that child to help them through that situation. And I think that you are correct about using your mind to do Braille, because it was actually developed for sending messages in the war. So they took that.
I think it's cool.
And then they took it and turned it into Braille. And it's like, just that alone, having your brain have to function in that way is a different way than we teach children in public school. Right. So it's helping the kids that don't learn that way learn something else, and it helps their brain to function and work better.
Well, I've got a teacher right here that would be all up in on that, having 5 kids and they all learn different. Okay, and I said this to Dominique from day one. I said, oh my God, I don't know why you have to be visually impaired not to want to learn this code. It's a language. It's really cool. I would think if I could see perfectly and say, well, I can read Braille, that's like, playing the violin. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's my goal to slow down a little bit, to have Richard, who will be joining us in a little bit. He's hopefully one day he'll be able to teach me a little bit, or even Dominique, if she has the patience for my craziness.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right, we've got one last gentleman, a quick little gratitude, and then he's going to be the first up. What's up, Anthony Rodriguez? Quick gratitude, and then you're going to join us with our preparation.
All right, so quick gratitude to Christine Marie, Richard Ellsworth, Don Sanders, Emily the Songbird, and also Santa Barbara Wellness for all the participation and the donations for Food Bank Santa Barbara Self-Care Bingo. It was a huge hit. Everybody's been talking about it, and I'm very, very grateful for you guys supporting us and supporting this. So thank you.
Aw, Anthony, we love you. That was, again, unexpected. So thank you. We love you. And let's take a break. And then right after the break, we have Anthony Rodriguez after these messages.
Give it all.
back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salter, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m.
Hey everybody, this is Anthony Rodriguez from the Food Bank of Santa Barbara County. I am the Operations and Disaster Services Specialist, and I wanted to let you guys know that we have some programs for kids, which are free lunch for kids, and it's Monday through Friday, and it's from June 7th through August 20th, and it's called Picnic in the Park, and you can come and pick up some food for the kids between obviously 0 to 18 years old. And we have locations in Guadalupe, Santa Maria, Santa Barbara, Goleta, Solving, Los Alamos, and Carpinteria. So to get more information on that, you can go on to foodbanksbc.org and look under Picnic in the Park, and you can get all the locations. We're also doing Saturday distributions for the very first time because the price for food is still going on, and it's still pretty high. And so now we're doing Saturday distributions every single Saturday. So we have some in Santa Maria, Goleta, Santa Barbara, and Lompoc, and yeah. So also you can go on to the foodbankofsbc.org and then take a look at the locations, and it's every single Saturday we have a different location. So this Saturday we will have it, and let me see. So we have it at Goleta Valley Community Center in Goleta, the second Saturday of every month. We also, the third Saturday, we have it at the Goleta Valley Church, Franklin Elementary School, and there's no questions asked. So, well, actually there is. The only thing we ask is how many people in your family and how many kids in your family. So we can make sure that you guys have enough food for what you need. And just come on down. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. That's what we're here for, and we're doing our best to support our community. Thanks a lot.
Nice. Do you need anything, Anthony? How you guys? Are you looking for? Are you short on anything?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely consistently do need some food donated. If you don't want to go to the grocery store, it's okay. Anything that if you want to donate some money, a check, gift cards for us to purchase the food, that's really great too. Whatever makes it easier for you guys, but we're a 501c3. You guys can go ahead and get a tax write-off on it for the donations, but everything that you guys give to us goes right back to our community so our kids don't go hungry. Because it's very difficult for our kids to focus when they're hungry. And that's what we want to make sure is that they have enough food in their little tummies, that they can focus and then be our future, which they will be. They will be. So, that's our goal, is to make sure that we feed everybody and no kid goes hungry.
Nice. Beautiful. Well done. Anthony Rodriguez. Anybody have any questions? If not, we'll take a break. Any questions? No? Going. Okay. We are going to blast off again, wheels up, and we're going to take another break, and we're going to be back with Namita, and with Namita's owner, founder of Namita's Cuisine after these messages.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salter, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m.
Hi, Erica. Good to be in the show again. Well, my name is Namita, as Erica has introduced me on various occasions, and I'm the owner of Namita's Cuisine. And today I'm delighted that we will be talking about my favorite topic. You said you wanted to talk about wellness of the gut, right, Erica?
All day. That's what we got to do. Today is the day. I'm actually on a little bit of a cleanse myself. Richard's got me all mapped out for the next 2 weeks. And I'm like, this is feeling pretty good. I've noticed it after 3 or 4 days. So I'm like, let's talk about it.
Very interesting. I mean, I noticed that anytime I go to YouTube, most of the ads are about, it seems to be a pooping, like a trend. They talk about all these different ads on if you're pooping kernels, and it's all about cleaning the belly. What people don't realize is the pooping aspect comes when things are really backed up, starting from the stomach, the digestive system. That's really the root of most dis-ease, according to Ayurveda, which I like to practice in my cooking. Ayurveda is very conducive towards a healthy gut in a caring, gentle, and non-invasive way. And how we do this is really by integrating a lot of community resources too, which is wonderful. So by using seasonal vegetables, Mother Nature knows exactly what our body needs according to the temperature that surrounds us. Using as much seasonal, cooking slow temperature, slow food cooking, rather than getting everything done in a hurry. And then, of course, using medicinal spices that not only add flavor to your food and more excitement, but also at the same time is working on healing our digestive system, which then supports the rest of the organs in our body. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I know out of all the foods that are out there, I would put Indian food because of all the spices you infuse your food with. It was probably one of the most potent, most healthiest foods that you could eat. So which spices would you recommend?
Well, I can say that the vegan community is very, very fortunate to have been able to daily integrate a lot of the Indian cuisine, mainly because of the flavors. But let's talk about the spices too, that fulfill a lot of the benefits that we search for in protein or meat products, which is quite surprising in the sense of how much more it can give if we look at it closely. So a curry. Most people think curry is just to go to the store and get curry powder and then add some salt, and we've made our curry. That is not the way you make curry or the way that you reap the benefits of the spices. The spices are medicinal, which is why, I don't know, Marco Polo, Christopher Columbus, all these great seekers of foreign countries were really looking for the medicine cabinet of teas and spices during those times. So what makes a curry? A curry really it consists of a combination of the following spices. We have turmeric, we have ground coriander, ground cumin, black mustard seeds, cumin seeds, asafoetida, and then of course we have salt and some kind of a lubricant or a carrier, such as grapeseed oil, which I use, safflower oil, or of course ghee, which is saturated butter. Now I'm giving you a lot here of a mouthful, but that, my friend, is how you make a curry. And then there is an order in how you put the spices if you really want to reap the maximum benefits of these spices in the medicinal way, which means it acts as an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant. It provides a lot of the calcium, the phosphates. I mean, there are so many benefits that I could go on. In fact, I'm writing a book as we speak on the alchemy of the spices, where they talk and they tell you their knowledge. So if we come now, the art of Ayurvedic cuisine to mainly heal the gut is that the spices have to interplay together. By isolating the spices, you're not getting the best form of its benefits, such as, people now are into the turmeric trend. I love how we get into these trends and then overkill the product that has come out to teach us by overusing it in a non-mindful way. If you're taking a turmeric pill, which is fine. It's not going to it's not going to have contraindications. I'm sure you're going to have some benefits from it, but it won't be as happy as when it plays with the rest of the spices together, when it gets a form of heat and it gets ingredients to cling on to so that your body can enjoy the whole process. So it is an art to heal the gut. To torture it is not the way by going on strong diets, because it already is taxed. You have to gently wake up your digestive system and feed it the nutrients where your cells will feel that it's absorbing it. You will notice it. And of course, the bowel movements, you don't need all those ads. Just eat a good dal, a good curry, and you'll notice how you won't poop pineapple kernels or whatever they call those.
Can I ask a quick question? We're
Yes.
past the summer solstice, so we're into our summertime.
Yes.
And in India, when it's hot, you're served tea. Can you explain why it is that you're served hot tea in hot weather?
Of course, yes. As you know, chai is a very well drank tea in India. In fact, if you say no, you might highly offend the person. So by the end of the day, you might have had 6 or 7 little cups of chai. The reason for this is that, especially when you put, warming spices such as ginger and cloves, and cardamom is a bit of a cooling. The mixture is designed so our body also produces the heat that matches the external temperature. And so there is a balance that automatically happens in our system. Yeah, so it's the same as in cold countries like Norway and all the Nordic countries. There's a lot of cold cuts that people will eat. Hotter countries will eat, spicier food like in Mexico. So yes, there is an intelligence again happening. I mean, again, in Ayurveda, everything really the basics of it comes down to heating foods or cooling foods, because we're working with our body temperature that really is like our furnace that allows our digestive system. So summer right now, this is the time you can eat really good cooling foods like, cold soup such as gazpacho, now that we have a lot of red tomatoes happening everywhere. Cooling salads. This is probably not, yes, the curries will make you sweat and everything, but it's a good time in the summer to bring some of the colder foods into our belly, cucumbers, so forth. Fennel, rampant right now. Mm-hmm.
If you
It's
wanted
very
to,
exciting.
if you wanted to do we've done this before. We've gone back for a dozen or so years, and I've known before that you would do for a month or 2 weeks. You can correct me, where you would focus on the gut, and then you would be doing certain foods, and it's a part of a plan that you've actually created. Can you talk about that?
Yes, we've worked closely with the Bikram Yoga Studio when it used to be in Santa Barbara, as well as other wellness centers where they're getting other kinds of supports, whether it's massage therapy or acupuncture. And we're mainly focusing on the gut through the food. Sometimes we were encouraging enemas, of course, with special Ayurvedic consultants or other wellness consultants involved. I focus on the food part that I contribute. They do the more medical technicalities. So together, people noticed fantastic results because we would look at each body separately. It's hard to, it's like saying I'm a Sagittarius, so everybody who's Sagittarius is going to get the same result this month, right, Dominique? That doesn't work. The same thing with the body. When it's looked closely and respected closely and see the needs, then we can design not just, an Ayurvedic meal that will support you, but also the meal that will allow them to digest the foods that agree with them, the spices that agree with them, so that the body is responding in a more efficient way. And then basically we're just rebooting the digestive system so that then they can slowly start bringing in a more balanced diet that is easier to digest and it's not backed up. So yes.
When we get, that's beautiful. Great stuff, Namita. The next segment, we're going to have Richard. Maybe you guys can collaborate, I don't know, on a project in the future, but I know I have a lot of kids coming off of these energy drinks because kids tell me, I know even young adults are hooked on those energy drinks. And when I say hooked on, I mean, they are addicted with that. And that stuff isn't even really being talked about, the addictive properties of these energy drinks. So anybody, or athletes, this is really important information. I did take 2 of them just to show my oldest son because he walked in with one. So I put 2 of them. I took a piece of rusty something from the garage and I threw it in a bucket with 2 energy drinks and I pulled it out. I said, see that? That's your intestines. Good job.
Right. But unfortunately, our culture has been acculturated to all these energy drinks for quite a while. They're quick. They're easily accessible, even in gas stations. There's more choices of energy drinks, unfortunately, than even water when you go to these gas stations. It's cheap. And even though I think they taste horrible, our youth has gotten used to an acquired taste of sorts. Now, it's really, I think our job is to offer a choice that is equally as economical, that tastes even better, and that is accessible. For example, look, BD, our farmer in Ojai, who specializes in really good medicinal herbs of all sorts, he brought me some holy basil that has been growing right now. Krishna, actually, they've got these beautiful purple buds on them. And I have been making iced teas with them, very easy. All you do is put a boiling pot of water. Once it's boiled, you just add all these leaves and then strain them and put them in the fridge. And you mix in, a couple of boosters for energy that are natural, like a little bit of maple syrup, and you just refrigerate it and chug this along all day long. You feel not only energized, but clear-headed, lighter. You're getting other side benefits. It's reteaching an economic, easy way for our kids to do it. That's what the energy drinks, that's why they're working.
Nice. Good chatter. Good chatter, Namita. Namita, how do we get a hold of you if we want an Ayurvedic week of food, including
feel free to call me. We're always cooking something new because I love seeing what the farmer brings us this week. I've actually been experimenting with blackberry pies because I'm trying to integrate my American in me. But I still need some help. So I might get some tips from the crust, Dominique, at some point. Anyway, you can get a hold of me by visiting the website, namitascuisine.com, or call me 805-259-6594.
Great. Namita's Cuisine, I'm a big fan, and I appreciate, especially if you're going through a really bad time right now, either energetically or you're going through some illness issues, give Namita a call, and she has done this for me many a times for my family and friends, and we love you, Namita. Let's take a little break.
Thank you, Namita.
Richard Ellsworth.
Thank you.
Stick around, Namita. We've got Richard Ellsworth after these messages.
Brazil. Back in the USSR. Way down in LA.
Talk, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salt, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Hello, everyone. This is Richard Ellsworth with Mountain Stage Healing Arts and the Braille Institute. And we're going to be talking about gut health in addition to energy drinks today. Gut health is one of my absolute favorite topics because it really is the second brain and the foundation for most health issues, if not all. Some scientists these days will argue all issues. And the gut can be a really challenging thing to deal with, and there are a lot of different theories about how to approach it. I'm a very strong believer that everything in the body can be healed through diet, nutrition, food, that sort of thing. But I acknowledge that in Western society, we've become a little bit more used to quick fixes. And that's where nutritional supplements can come in handy, ones that really aren't going to throw us completely off balance. And the thing is that there are a lot of things these days that can throw us off balance. Were you breastfed or were you formula fed? Did you have something that you were given antibiotics for? All of these things that can disturb the gut microbiome are really important things to consider. And if you've been having digestive challenges, it might be worth taking probiotics. And again, these are not substitutes for eating a good, strong, healthy diet. They're additions. They're sort of things that can laser target whatever the issue is that you're currently experiencing and can accelerate the healing process. So sometimes you might take herbs that will knock off some of the bad bacteria. Sometimes you can take the probiotics that will go in there, and it's like a bunch of little microorganisms that are then out competing the bacteria, and there's like a little battle going on. And at first, I'll put people on these supplements, whether they're probiotics or herbs that can kill stuff off, and they'll often complain that their stomach hurts more than it did before. And the fact is that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to go through that because there's literally a battle going on inside your stomach, and there's no way that's not going to be painful. There's no way that you aren't going to have some sort of disturbance from that. And maybe you won't feel anything in your stomach. Maybe it's just a matter of maybe it comes out as diarrhea or something like that. So incorporating energy drinks into this, energy drinks are also something that is significantly going to disturb your gut balance. So not only is there a lot of sugar, which is going to feed the bad bacteria, but there's also caffeine. Now, caffeine makes everything move a little bit quicker, and caffeine can be really, really helpful, but not in conjunction with sugar. When caffeine is working with sugar, everything is moving at a very, very quick rate, and the blood is moving through your body to such an extent that your adrenals and your kidneys end up working extra hard, and you can end up having issues like anxiety. You can have significant fear responses. I knew someone who, you could literally drop a paper clip on the ground and he jumped 5 feet in the air. And that's a pretty strong indication that your kidneys or your adrenals are a little bit out of balance, and maybe they need a little bit of help, a little bit of support. And again, most of this can be done through diet. If you eat a lot of garlic and onions in your diet, that's going to go in there and that's going to knock out a lot of the bad bacteria. If you want to start incorporating good bacteria, you eat a lot of different colors, a lot of colorful fruits and vegetables. If you have some sort of issue where you need to work on really supporting your kidney health and your adrenals because you're having a fear response, or maybe you're not drinking enough water, there's too much caffeine in your system, you can start by drinking enough water for starters. Alkaline water is one of the best sources, but also your blue and black foods are going to really support your kidney health. So again, taking into account all of these different things to really stabilize your gut, come back into balance, avoiding those sugary energy drinks are all of things that are going to skyrocket you towards optimal health.
Nice. Ooh. Namita.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, Richard. I think it's fabulous. While you were saying the garlic and onion, a question popped in my mind, Richard. I actually have been given a lot of this black garlic, they call it, and it looks dried.
Yeah.
Do you use it for medicinal purposes? I don't know what to do with it. I don't even know how to use it in my cooking. I guess I can Google it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can completely use it medicinally if you want, but it also has a very unique flavor. It's a little bit stronger and it's a little more earthy and kind of nutty. So it's a really good thing to add those cloves to You can add them to curries, would be really excellent. Would go really nicely in a dal. You sort of bring out different flavors. It's kind of a flavor enhancer because you sort of add a different dimension to the flavor, a different side to it. So you get that kind of smokiness, that nuttiness, kind of that earthy umami type flavor. It can really help to round things out a little bit. But again, it is still garlic, so it will still go in there and kill a bunch of bad stuff off. You want to use it medicinally for sure.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to finally crack into that bottle that they gave me at a festival, actually, before the pandemic. So I'm excited.
I think we should all, swallow a clove daily and see how that helps with COVID. How's that? How's that?
I couldn't agree more.
There you go. All right, fantastic. Hey, let's take another little break. We got one more section left. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more with Don Sanders coming up after these messages.
You're addicted to love.
And this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salter, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hi, Don Sanders, Don's Massage in Ojai, and we've been talking about food and digestion. So I just wanted to add, sometimes people, when they're feeling dis-ease in their gut or in their abdomen, then sometimes we can apply some massage. I like to start by kind of going across from right to left, kind of like a wave, and then circling around the abdomen and up through the solar plexus and down around the other side. We go in that direction because it's the way that food travels through, the intestines, through the colon, down the descending colon and exits. And then sometimes, if it feels blocked or there's some tension, then sometimes, when we feel restricted or we feel anxious, it's like normally we'd sort of feel a pulse or our energetic presence down at the lower part of our abdomen, especially in women. They have a lower center of gravity. But sometimes as we're getting stressed, it kind of pulls up into the solar plexus. And so sometimes you can actually kind of just working with their breath, move that downward to kind of clear that out. So any of those three things starts to get an action going that helps the belly relieve itself of tension and stuff that's trapped in there, whether it was something they ate or something that they thought or something that happened to them, and the movement is good, because we tend to trap things and hold them as humans. If a little baby deer is almost hunted down by something, then the mother sequesters it for a while and just lets it shake. And it just moves. It keeps moving. We tend to sit still a lot, thinking about things. We get into our heads, but it's good to actually have that move through sometimes. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mentioned too, just for the visual perspective. I know you said right to left, but I just wanted to mention when I did some massage school and we did some belly massage, and they spoke really strongly about clockwise. So if you're going to rub your own belly, imagine there's a clock on your belly and go round that circle, because that's, right. I know that you put all the details in there, Don, but I don't know sometimes where my
as you're looking out from your body, that would be, yes, you would go clockwise.
Yeah.
You would go clockwise if you were looking at me, Yeah. So I'm going down to the left and back up on my right.
Okay.
But that is clockwise.
Yeah. Thank you.
If I didn't explain that correctly, I'm sorry.
I know you explained it well. I like to explain things a couple different ways for different learners, visual learners, auditory learners, Yeah,
and you can practice some of that on yourself, if you're having trouble. You can practice some of those techniques on yourself.
Nice. Whoa, guess what? We just got the big, mean, smooshy sign. Listen, everybody, hey, masks off, take a hike, take a hoof it down State Street. We've got Richard playing every Wednesday night with his little band. Wave to Richard, like your hair, Richard. See you next week. God bless.
God bless. Thank you.
You're the best around.